Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to a week 2 Desmos activity for my Algebra 2, a live class. It's just a little video to help you get started and get a conceptual idea of what we're going on. So week 2, we're digging a lot into linear functions still, function notation, a domain range, and a little bit about linear modeling. So it's kind of hodgepodge of stuff. And in this Desmos activity, I really wanted you to think about how we can take experiments, so we can gather data, and we can try and fit a linear model that helps kind of make sense of something. So everybody knows and loves their cell phone. I'm sure all of you guys have one. And if you don't, you are extremely jealous of those who do. But we're going to play around with kind of cell phone and charging data. So here we go. We're going to make a prediction. We just plugged my phone in. How long do I think it'll take to charge? It's 5% right now. To charge, I'm going to say in minutes, 2.5 hours. That's what I would guess. So that would be 60, 60, 30. It'd be 150 minutes. There we go. Let's move on to slide 2 now. So one way to make a more accurate prediction is to explore the relationship graphically. What do we think the percent charge versus time of a graph looks like? So here's time in minutes, and here's percent charge. If we're charging it, I think we would start off at like 5%. I think it would kind of do a steady, 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 steady kind of charge. I think it would be kind of a graph, and it would, it would be most like a straight line until eventually it reaches 100%. There we go. It's going to be a straight line. It's charging. Halfway would be 50, 80. Eventually it would get full charge. Another way to make a more accurate prediction is to actually think about some number data, right? So here, someone plugged in their phone. At 0 minutes, it was at 5% charge, and then they checked it. After 8 minutes, it was at 14%. At 12 minutes, it was at 19%. And now at 28 minutes, what do we think it would be? Well, we got some data to go on so we can make some predictions, right? We can kind of see after 8 minutes, if 8 minutes of charging, we went up by 9%. After 4 minutes, we only charged 5%. But now I can kind of say, all right, in 4 minutes it's 5%, in 8 minutes it's 9%, in so if I went another 12 minutes, I would maybe say that's another 14%. So 12 to 24 would be another 14. So that would be 14 plus 9, 33. But then another 4 would be another 5. So I would guess 38% based on kind of what we've seen from our numbers and thinking about making a chart. So we can kind of play around with stuff. We're gathering data. We're making kind of educated decisions. I would say about 38% based on what we've seen so far. And now let's get into the fun part about making some graphs. So here we've got some hard data. The actual charge is 38%. Whew, I'm good. We should teach this stuff, right? So now we're going to drag the red points and we're going to make a line to fit our data. So here's where we get to use our Desmos calculator. I'm going to play around with dragging some points around. And there's a pretty good line that fits the data. Do we think a linear model is a good choice? Yeah, I would say so, right? Looks like my 4 points fall right on the line. Yes. And that's what we're going to do is you're going to go on. It gives you the equation of our model. So based on the 2 dots that we picked and the line we slid around, there we go. Now that we have an equation that says this many minutes to get this percent, let's see how long it would take to actually reach 100%. So here I can use my chart. I can use my graph. If I go all the way up to 100% right there, right around there, about 81.8 minutes. My original prediction was 150 minutes. right there, I want to change my estimation. Based on our data, I've got a much better estimation. That's what you're going to do is you're going to play around, think about linear data, graphing, using technology to help make a linear model to get an idea of how fast does our cell phone charge. Let me know if you have any questions and have fun with this week 2 Desmos activity.